Lethal Company is a game I have had my fair share of fun and enjoyment out of. It offers vast replayability thanks to its dedicated modding community, who are constantly creating innovative ways to enhance the gameplay far beyond the reach of what the original game's potential offered. From bigger lobbies, to meltdowns in the facility, to just whatever this is. The game is incredible thanks to the enhancements of enthusiastic players.
And you see, that just is the thing for me. I love a lot of what this game is, but strip away all the mods, and you're still going from planet to planet, picking up trash, dropping it off at the company, rinse and repeat. There is only so many times I can do that same cycle over and over and over and over again. Even with the cool mods that have truly stretched out the basics of this game. Truth is, I'm just burnt out on Lethal Company, and that sentiment carries over to a lot of my friends, unfortunately, as well. I need more, so the loop doesn't feel so repetitive, and I don't need to constantly keep finding mods chasing a dopamine high that fades after each session. No disrespect at all to the modding community, by the way. They are doing some incredible stuff, truly. But it still, at its core, is just Lethal Company, and it just isn't as fun as it once was for me, personally. However, I think I have recently found the solution to my very specific niche problem weighing me down. I think I have found two games that scratch that lethal itch while giving me a super casual, vibey sort of experience, and one that just builds upon the blocks that Lethal laid down to create a gameplay loop that is just fun with its base mechanics and feels limitless with its potential. So let's explore these two games and identify, to me, why they work better for completely opposite reasons, and are games that I am more excited than ever to play with friends. Let's start on the opposite end of the spectrum. You and the lads are looking to just have a good time, make each other laugh, but you still want just a little bit of tension from something spooky without a super hard objective. The game I am booting up almost instantly is going to be Content Warning. If you haven't heard about this, let me give you the deets on what this beautiful game is.
You and 3 of your friends have decided to try and make it big on a website called SpookTube. How most people end up getting famous is by going down to the old world and collecting videos exploring this once forgotten land.
Sounds simple enough, right? Wrong.
See, within this desaturated land lay creatures of untold horror that want nothing more than to cause you suffering and pain. Exactly, of course, though, what the fine folks watching your content strive for. So get down there and capture the greatest little short film you can possibly muster without dying, you little communications major you. And, if you survive, you get to go back and watch your masterpiece and see if you survive another day or starve. Just like regular YouTube.
To me, this formula works out beautifully, as you are only limited by your own comedic capabilities. I found that one of the most fun things we've been able to do with the game is to use improv situations to create a load of different fun clips to share around. Hell, that's what my first video on the game was focused on. Just a really bad news team that constantly got into progressively worse situations due to the monsters attacking. Things like that is what allows you, the player, to create a narrative in what is essentially a Lethal Company sandbox thanks to its wide variety of prop items, green screens, audio equipment, costumes, the whole shebang. It's almost like old school YouTube in that way you take videos on an old camcorder, starting and stopping, basically doing on-the-fly editing as your friends do dumb voices and joke and kid around.
It creates this pressureless environment where even if you die, the comedy is there because this guy randomly blew you up, or the egg beater with legs slammed you 40 feet across the map. It's comedy you can create, and randomness to spice up and ramp to 11. And with the addition of the sponsorship segment, this game is literally giving you new situations to create funny moments to share with your friends.
Honestly, Content Warning to me is one of the most simple and laid-back games out there. It's one I can enjoy with almost anyone and just vibe, laugh, and have fun. Some days though, I want a challenge. Something that forces me to use the thinky and strategy part of me brain. Some days, I want more than what Lethal can currently offer me. I want an objective, I want pressure, I want stakes to be had other than just death. But what could offer me that kind of gaming endeavor? I don't know. Oh yes, that one.
Skyward Extraction is a game I'm almost certain you have never heard of, and that's fair. It hasn't officially been released.
Hello, Future Militia here. So, as you may or may not know, this video took a hell of a lot longer than expected to come out. Why is that, you may ask? Because the game has been fully released into early access, and as much as I want to go on rambling telling you guys about what's new in the full game that's been released, I figured I'd be doing a disservice to the devs by spoiling all the new improvements and little additions and such. So, if after you hear me ramble on for a few minutes here, you want to try the demo out for yourself, and it's something that you really enjoy, I highly suggest you try the full game because holy shit, this is even bigger than what I'm about to tell you. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the rest of the video essay. Take it back away, past militia.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's go back a little bit to get the full picture. So I was working on my first video essay back in late 2023. I was searching all over for mascot horror games to cover besides Indigo Park, and I had stumbled across two games I felt would be perfect to cover. One was Funset Studios, the other was Finding Frankie. Both looked promising, so I shot my shot with both companies to see if either would be possibly up for an interview. Finding Frankie reached back out, and as you saw in the video, were featured in the second spotlight coverage. However, I never took my eyes off the budding company developing what was essentially Legends of the Hidden Temple, but spooky. I grew up with that show so much I have both a helmet and a blue Barracuda shirt. I was ready to go on that show and win myself a Yamaha keyboard, so this game was right up my alley with its nostalgic premise. Time goes on and they release a new devlog talking about how in the game, its primary antagonist Fumbo will be able to chase you randomly rather than doing what many other games in the subgenre do and just feature them at the end for one climactic chase. Then, silence. And then they say they're putting the game on an indefinite hold for the time being due to some internal issues. While I was sad, they did say they were working on other things for a small, growing base of supporters to try out. One thing they created was a weird little game called Don't Pee, where you, as the title suggests, try not to piss yourself. It's weird, kinda goofy, and really out there with its premise. I had fun playing it on stream a while back, and I highly advise you check it out for yourself. But towards the end of this newest devlog, catching everybody up, they teased a new little project. Not just any project, but a light horror, action roguelike the world had yet to see. Then it got announced, and to my surprise, a demo was released, and we could finally take our first look at Skyward Extraction. So what is Skyward Extraction?
In a few words, my most anticipated release I think I have ever had for the gaming world. In a few more words, Skyward Extraction is the perfect evolution for what Lethal Company started.
Within the confines of the demo, you are shown the basics of the game's functionality. Instead of just trying to earn as much money as possible, you were given a quest to retrieve a mystic item for the glorious Ranadine Empire. All you have are a few bits of money, a little bit of fuel, and a wooden ship to take you across the sky to a surprisingly wide range of islands littered across the sky.
Like in Lethal, these places are filled to the brim with valuable items and other such treasures. You collect and hoard until you are able to reach a merchant island where you can sell off your goods, buy equipment like health potions, which is a super welcome addition to these types of games, lanterns, fuel cells, and a load of different items, and even be able to upgrade your ship, which you will need to do to be able to reach the final island and retrieve the previously mentioned mystical relic.
Obviously, of course, the items scattered across the islands aren't unprotected, as there are slime creatures, goblins that legit rob you if they get you too many times, and other things waiting to cause havoc and chaos for you and your band of misfits. Instead of a simple clock or timer, there is a large whale creature slowly encroaching towards your position, and you must escape before its inevitable arrival. He's vicious, cold-blooded, and worst of all, will end your run in a heartbeat. His name is Kevin, according to the devs. But even that isn't the worst of it all, as while you play, you must continue trudging forward as a storm slowly is following your ship not too far behind, and if you're caught in it, you will lose your vessel as well.
Honestly, these constant threats, while they may sound like a lot, balance out fairly well as the game gives ample amount of time to gather up the income to level up your ship, replace lost items, and will even let you travel somewhat freely back and forth to new or previous islands, so long as your ship has enough fuel to travel from place to place. To be straight, these threats feel way more weighty when packaged together, and overall create an emphasis on teamwork that works super well. Oh, and if you're in a pinch, you can call on Melvin the Goblin. He tends to overcharge for items, so be wary of what you purchase before and during your run to avoid getting ripped off by that sneaky little goblin. The game does all that with just a fucking demo, man. How insane is that?
The best part is, once you retrieve and turn in the completed quest and item, you are given Sky Stones as a reward. Sky Stones allow you to upgrade permanent stats that you don't end up losing even if in future runs you die. For example, we got 2 Sky Stones for the demo mission and ended up being able to upgrade our sprinting capabilities and gain an extra jump while using the jump pack. Honestly, this element of progression really creates a sense of wanting to grind the game and further side quests, since the more you play, the stronger you can become.
For a demo to pack in this much stuff is honestly insane. I love how much time they put into creating this super old school looking graphic style while still keeping it modern and futuristic all at the same time. Oh, and I forgot to mention that there is this little backpack that someone can operate to go around pinging players, treasure, and helping scout out dungeon areas as well. It's like a little hummingbird. It's adorable, honestly. Plus, they had custom colors to change your shirt with, a variety of well-animated emotes and walk cycles for the character to do in-game, a fucking cheese bar? Honestly, it's a shock to me that no other big YouTubers have picked up this well-polished demo. Sure, there are a few bugs, but the main character is the shifty-looking steampunk plague doctor. What more can you truly ask for from a game, honestly? If you can't tell, I love this concept for a game, and to be straight, it really scratches something in me that I couldn't really get with Lethal. Progression with meaning, goofiness that feels tuned super well, and a game that feels like it has more urgency built into it with its threats. In addition, it has ways to mitigate frustrations from a run going bad that don't feel hand-holdy, and like you have to rush within such a short time span. There is a moment to take a breath, but you still need to manage your time well. It expands and constricts everything in the right direction to create what I think is the best version of the Lethal formula. Truly, I have high hopes for this game and plan to get it as much attention as humanly possible because these devs 1000% deserve every bit of praise for what they've created. Maybe it wasn't the first, but this game is truly dialed in and packing a punch with just an hour-long demo. I'll be for sure keeping my eyes on Naughty Clogs for future updates and expansions to the game in the future, and I highly suggest you try it for yourself with you and your friends to see how it fares for you.
Lethal Company. Truly unique at launch and offers loads of potential for what you and your friends can accomplish together. It's scary, tense, and quite funny, intentionally or not. With its wide range of mods, the game can shift to such extremes that radically alter the experience for better or worse, depending on your perspective.
While there will always be a special place in my heart for it, I think I just have to accept the fact that I'm just burnt out on its rinse and repeat cycle. Yeah, I'll probably hop on it occasionally with friends for a modded sesh, or maybe whenever a new update drops here and there. But I think I'll be exploring other games, expanding on the formula that seem to offer unique takes on this great idea that Zeekers has presented to the gaming community. Because I think, like FNAF, Lethal is going to be the beginning of a new subgenre that is going to push forward a lot of great ideas that gamers will be titillated with for quite a bit of time. I hope to see more games that can replicate its success and be at all different points of the spectrum and offering something that we can all play for a long, long time.
Thank you guys so much for watching to the end of this video essay. If you did, this was a super fun project that got way more ambitious than I had originally planned. Nonetheless, I hope you guys check out the games here. They are super fun, and they are ones that I very much go back to more times than not when I'm looking for something different to play with friends. Anyways, have a fantastic day, stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you all on the next one. Have a good night. Bye-bye!